Hi, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be going over some of the games, or at least one of the games that I played recently on my sort of road to Glad, and it's going to be the one that is sort of a mirror matchup. Well, it is a mirror matchup. I'm going to be going over sort of what I'm thinking at the time, what I'm doing, and I actually have an eye tracker on this one as well, so you can see what I'm sort of looking at, and you know it helps figure out what I'm sort of already looking for in the decisions before I've actually even said what I'm thinking. So, without further ado, just go straight into it pretty much. And this was quite a long game, so I don't want to pause it at all, but I'll give you my sort of analysis on what's happening sort of as we're going through it. So, obviously, in a mirror matchup, I'm looking at the comp, so Shaman, Demon Hunter, Boomkin. I'm thinking, okay, I keep my thorns here usually. I make sure that my kindred's up. We got everything going, and obviously it's just sort of, useless chatter in the spawn room whatsoever. Just double checking my talents, making sure that I do have thorns and everything on there. So our target is obviously the Boomkin. We just double check. I check all their health just in case. We start by dusting up everything that we can. Demon Hunter presses full meta on me immediately. Root Beam as well on my healer. He calls it out. This is my trinket. I just look to run. They're cloning my healer, so they definitely can't switch him. My Demon Hunter is fine, and I've survived the go. The Root Beam and double stun at the exact same time was perfect. I do want to say that we are not in comms at this point, me and the Demon Hunter, so that was just very good timing. I look to see who gets the hex. My healer dispels it before I can, but we're just looking to put our dots up here pretty much and pump some damage in. I know that I've got a proc, so I want to get the clone on the Shaman. Demon Hunter obviously imprisons me, so he saves the Shaman from getting cloned. So I just use the proc on the Demon Hunter to get some downtime. I constantly check my Shaman to see if he's in any sort of form of CC. I check to see if his Battle Master's fallen off, and I check to see if he's on Clone DR. He isn't. Druid's very low, and we were mallying him. He actually just punched through the mally with his own heals. I'm fine. I had a heal casted on me, and I knew that I didn't have to go bear form there. I'm just making sure that I'm being very cautious. I believe that I communicate here that they've got root beam very soon. So I'm being sort of prepared to run. We obviously are checking double stun. This is the root beam. My healer trinkets it to come and help keep us on the offensive here, because this is how they would have turned it around. Uh, I use root beam myself and obviously clone off of it. We have so much pressure going into this. It's absolutely unreal. We're currently on the front foot a lot. I'm looking at it now. We are losing on mana, so our healer may be needed to look to drink in this sort of instance while I'm cloned and stuff. If we were looking or knew that it was going to be a long game, but we thought that it was going to be over very shortly as we had a lot of pressure. But still not got the healer's trinket, which is huge because obviously trinket spirit link is a big thing. And I'm looking to just sort of output as much CC as I can while my Demon Hunter does the damage. Here, I was very afraid of stacking with my healer for the double stun from the Demon Hunter. I know that my Demon Hunter is now cloned, and I'm just dotting everything up, getting some damage out, and making sure that everything's CC'd and everything. So here, Thorns is up, obviously, so my Demon Hunter can't do much else. Jump in to go for the CC. My healer got root beamed as well. So I trinketed, but he also racialed it. Or he didn't. Yeah, I trinketed and he racialed. But I get a nice little shadow meld run, and I'm full HP. This Demon Hunter is just chasing. Can get a nice root on him from my Shaman, and I get the clone. Demon Hunter gets a lot of downtime here, which is really nice, and I get a full clone because I didn't need to worry about any sort of kick unless the Shaman was very quick on it. Double stun here, which is huge, and I root them there because I don't have root beam, so just the root is nice in itself. Now we're just looking to dot each other up, get my dots rolling, so I can get some astral power. We have a massive go in 10 seconds with my celestial and my beam. Our shaman almost goes down here. I see the link. I hop in it as well, give him some HP. They almost killed us there with that massive switch, but it was a huge link. Now we're going on the offensive. We get their own link. We respond with our link, and we get a nice root beam off of this as well. We should maybe switch to the shaman here out of the imprison, but he does have Astral, so he might not die. We get a nice clone. Here, if we were in comms, we would say, okay, switch to the Shaman, which I believe we do. No, I just go for the CC. Again, I'm just checking to see if my healer's in any form of CC. He just root beamed my Demon Hunter, so the Demon, or no root beam for my healer, or root beam. And not sure about the melee there, not gonna lie. It was very much throwaway melee, I feel. I'm looking to get a full CC on these two. The Demon Hunter left me for some very weird reason. I just killed the Tide because, you know, we are somewhat even on mana. I just babysit the sort of Shaman at the time. They're in Dark, so they're not going to die. I think I switched my clone over here to the Demon Hunter, yeah. And we're just looking to train down the Druid, pretty much. He gets really low here. He gets so low. I get a full root beam. It gets reversed, maybe, I think. It doesn't get reversed. I'm not sure if he was running reverse here. But honestly, the Druid healing himself here was nuts. He did really well. We got a nice kick on the Shaman. And we're just kiting because we know that they want to set up. They know that they have, or we know that they have root beam, and there you go. He pre-flesh crafted it or something, or he didn't, or he was out of range of the root. Who knows? But this is very dangerous. I'm very low. I should be hopping in bear form. Yep, there's the Ascendance. I give my healer Innovate just before this as well, and I almost drop here. I'm really happy I just got that frenzy off in time. And I'm just saying I'm leaving my Demon Hunter in there. He'll be more than fine. Because he has Nether pretty much. So here, just get the clone. We need the uptime on the CC on their Demon Hunter because it puts a lot of pressure on their healer to do more because we're obviously outputting more damage overall. Here I'm looking to prepare my root beam. I'm moving the Demon Hunter away so that he can't reverse it as easily, or he has to travel quite a fair distance. I get both of them with the root beam here, and he does reverse it. I'm upset that I misjudged the distance. I was hoping that he was just far enough away that he couldn't reverse the mass root on the Shaman. I'm checking the mana and the trinkets here constantly, mainly because I need to know what form of CC I can get. I know that I can get a full clone. I get it with my quick clone. And we just constantly are pumping this Druid. This Druid is doing very well to survive, to be honest. But now I probably look to CC there. No, I'm just booking it. I know that they want me. This is very dangerous because he could have stunned me. But I do root him around the corner so he can't get dispelled. And now we pop everything. He's battle mastered, but it's not going to save him. Nice and easy. I do wonder if that Link should have saved him there. Mainly because they were both in the link, but it took a couple seconds for them to, you know, actually share the health pool. Now, obviously, you can see many of the breakdowns. My Demon Hunter had so much more uptime on their Druid, which is a main factor on why we won. Their Druid did a lot. Their Druid did a lot of healing. He did double mine, which is absolutely insane. But obviously, we just had a lot more uptime with our Demon Hunter because I think he wasn't getting CC'd as much from their Druid with clones, roots, and stuff like that. So it was a very good game, and obviously a mirror matchup is very tough because it's a very tough like comp to go against Boomkin, Demon Hunter, and Shaman. But you know, it's good fun to always go up against a mirror match. Okay, moving on to the second game. We obviously have a monk, priest, priest. Now, priests are very scary for me, mainly because the threat of mind games kind of negates my entire defensives. So we look to kind of hit the priest in between the goes and monk when we can. We start off really well. We get the root beam. He obviously freedoms his priest, so I need to know that I need to hold my root beam until the stun has gone through, pretty much. I clone him on his PI, and he obviously does not have trinket. I'm not sure what he trinketed. I believe a stun. But my healer dispelled our Demon Hunter, so I basically just off-healed in the meantime because this is their go. Now, it might be a bit pixelated. I do apologize, but that is because there's so many buttons happening on the screen right now. Cyfiend obviously is very scary and needs to die as soon as possible. I hate my class because I cannot kill it. I actually have to trinket to kill it there because this is quite dangerous. and I probably shouldn't have even trinketed there. It was 1 HP. I could have just asked my healer to throw a flame shock on it or something. But it's quite clear that they want to go my Demon Hunter. So I'm sort of in appeal mode. So all I'm looking to do here is CC whatever I can. So Root Beam, he gets Tiger's Lusted out of that. We get a full Hex and we get Trinket. This is insane. We got Trinket from both priests, and the Monk is the last one to get Trinket from, which will be insane. I look to just pump as much damage as I can here because it's very rare that I'm free this much. So I get a nice full clone off of this here. He gets leaped on his leg sweep, which is really bad. I pre-bear this, but I still almost die. It's like insane. I charged the priest there to get around the other side from my, or for my healer, that I didn't kite into my healer. The Nether is really good here, but he does get ultimately CC'd on it and dies. It's one of them things, like, I didn't even know that you get paralyzed while in Nether. It seems very weird. But we should have been more aware of what was going to happen, and we should be countering it a lot more. Again, my trinket was used wastefully. We overlapped trinkets from my shaman and my demon hunter as well, but it's ultimately one of them things. You just sort of learn from it. We had their trinkets, we had their healer and their monk, and ultimately that's who we're going to kill. Now, the Shadow Priest might have been a tough thing to do. We might have wanted a hex on the Shadow Priest when we're going with Root Beam, so that he doesn't master spell it. He's got to at least trinket master spell or something like that. But, you know, it's one of the things. We had quite a lot out of the monk and the priest. We just had to keep going and keep sort of focused on our defensive side. But looking at it, we weren't necessarily at that rating at the moment. We were slowly getting there. This was still new territory for myself and the shaman, but it's one of them things. You just sort of learn from the next game and go next, because we definitely could have avoided that loss. But it's, you know, you take it on the chin, you learn from it. And what we learned is that we overlapped. Firstly, we need to be a lot more calm with how we used our defensive cooldowns, and we needed to. We are usually good at it, but we didn't see when the danger was coming. We usually preemptively see when the danger is coming, maybe Earthen Wall Totem and stuff like that. The priest got a double fear on myself and the healer with no trinket. We couldn't get out of it, and he eventually died due to Nether just running out. One of them things, but it was still a good game. But I picked this one mainly because it isn't all wins. You learn a lot of stuff from your losses, so never get sort of discouraged by it. But also, I hope that it helps sort of teach you guys how, you know, the game is actually played, and how it's how you have to reflect on the games that you lose just as much as the ones that you win and enjoy, stuff like that. Because this was a game that was winnable. Looking at, you know, their rating, it's not as, you know, great as what ours is. You know, it's very similar stats all the way. If you look at crowd controls done, I'm pretty sure I'm up there. I was sort of crowd controlling what I could when I could, but we just needed to be a bit cleaner in our defensive usage. But that is all for today. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope that the eye tracker does help. It might be a bit weird as it's still sort of trying to calibrate, and I do have a curved monitor, so it might not be perfect, but it's very tough to see because it's on a different monitor, and if I look at the monitor, the eye tracker just goes. So it's very tough to figure out and get right. But I hope it helps because it shows what I'm constantly looking at, and what I'm constantly like looking at in certain situations and stuff like that. I will be using this on my streams from now on as well. So if you do wish to check it out, be sure to check out the Twitch in the description below. And yeah, I hope this helps. Thank you all very much for watching, and go with Valor, friend. Goodbye all.